Good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, distinguished guests, Mr. Fisher, first generation college-bound staff, and most importantly, the graduates, good evening. As you see up here, I got a picture of a bridge. Because right now, you are driving along the road, the wind is blowing in your face, and you're headed, you just don't know exactly where you're going. And I'm here tonight to tell you a little bit about the road ahead and give you a glimpse at the path to success, which is ahead of you. You all are just beginning your paths on life, and each path is individual. And at the end of that path, the end of that road, success is waiting for you. Each one of you has a unique path, and to help ensure that path, I just want you to remember a few things. When you're reaching your goals, there are 5 things I want you to remember. Destination. You have to have a destination in mind. Determination. You must be determined to get to your destination. Decision making. Something that you're going to learn a lot. You're going to learn a lot about yourself and learn a lot about others. Drive. Something that you must never give up is your drive to succeed. And devotion. Now, it just so happens that all 5 of these things begin with the letter D, and so does my name, but we're going to keep it going from there. So the other day when I was coming off the train, I looked up into the sky and I just saw this image. So probably like a lot of you, I snapped an Instagram picture. And the reason I snapped this picture because it reminded me of that first thing I told you about, destination. You must set a goal. This is when you determine what do you want out of life. You have to determine your own path. Pick your own way and which way you want to go. What do you want out of life? Not your mother, not your father, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your aunt. What do you want out of life? And when setting that goal, you have to have a short and a long-term look on things. Hearing some of the people speak just a few minutes ago, sometimes things don't always go as planned. But that can't stop you from attaining your short and your long-term goals. Don't aim for the sky. I put aim for the sky, but I want you to aim for the sky so you can go past it. Keep that in mind. Aim for the sky and try to go past it. When I was at Wild Lake High School in Columbia, Maryland, I used to tell people, I want to go to college, and I want to become a doctor. And one of my teachers, he pulled me to the side one day and he said, these teachers, they don't know how you're going to do it. You hang with the wrong kids and you don't know how to behave sometimes. But it was because I had that goal in mind and I was aiming for the sky that I kept on going and I was able to achieve those things. Decision making. Now you've got freedom. You're going to college, you're going to be living on your own. Somebody told me earlier they want to go to a college that's more than 2 hours away so their mom can't drive and see them. I ain't going to say no names, but that's what I was told. What I want you to remember about decision making is that you've got to live with it. Whatever you decide to do, you've got to live with it. Somebody was talking about study time. Somebody was talking about assignments that they had to do. You always got a deadline when you go to college. And for those of you who are here who have graduated college, the deadlines don't stop. A lot of people got to deal with budgeting, stuff they never had to deal with before. Credit cards, they're going to be handing those credit cards out. Get ready. Things that you post on these social media sites, they're going to have effects on you maybe that you might not even think about. Certain employers look at these things. Boo time, now, I know y'all laughing, but boo time is going to be important, You may not have had those relationships before, but now you got more time, more freedoms. You got to be wise about your decision making. Alcohol, drugs, there are a lot of study aids out now. These medicines that help you focus. You can read the whole calculus book in one night and pass the test. That's a true story. One of my very, very close friends in college, I went to class every day. I went to this calculus class, and man, I just couldn't get the grades that he was getting. And one night he offered me, something that would help me pass. And I sat there and, I turned him down. I watched him read this half of a calculus book. The next day, he took the test, got the same grade that I did. I'm like, why did I go to class all this time? And he took these drugs. It's funny, but it's not funny. Because that same person now, who knows what effects those drugs have on them. They made those choices, but those are the choices that you've got to live with. And the most important part of this decision making is to learn from your experiences. Life is about learning. Some nights you want to go out and party, but you can't. You know, some people might want some of your time, but you just can't give it to them. Sometimes you got to turn certain things down that you gave your all to, but then you got to go a different direction because we're keeping that goal in mind that we set. You know, this picture pretty much says it all. Determination. Things will get tough. Sometimes you're going to feel like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders. You got so many things that you got to handle, so many things that you got to be responsible for. It could be your course load. It could be funding your education. Not everyone's going to get a full ride to wherever they want to go. Some people got to work, as we heard. You got to work and go to school. I don't know about you guys, but my freshman year of college, I slept harder and more than I ever slept in my life. It's a weird feeling, you know? Every day in high school, I could get up, 7 in the morning, get there at 7:20, whatever time it was. But then when I got to college, I had that 8 o'clock class. I just couldn't make it for some reason. I don't know. You're going to have family issues. Life doesn't stop just because you're in school. You know? Things keep getting tougher and tougher. Social drama, relationships, these are the things that you're going to have to deal with while you're on your next phase on this road to success. But the one thing I want you to keep remembering is that you got to keep pushing on no matter what gets in your way. Determination. I know what you're all thinking. I know. So, I put this one up for many reasons because Mr. Fisher knows, and anybody who knows me, I love basketball. It's a team sport. And the thing about basketball is a team sport that requires a lot of work by 5 individuals, but they got to put it together. And they got to have that desire. You got to fight. You got to keep fighting for what you want. Now, I know LeBron and them didn't put up much of a fight now, but you got to keep fighting. This picture, I put it up for 2 reasons because it has 2 sides to the story. We all know what happened this year, but y'all remember what happened last year. The Heat won last year, but what happened to the Spurs? They put their head down for a second, but then they said, you know what? This year I'm going to take that trophy. And that's what they did. And I want all of you to keep that story in mind. Keep your desire going. You have to have perseverance. You got to bounce back and be resilient no matter what happens, what things get in your way. And that next one I just put up there, I want you to block the haters. There are going to be a lot of people hating on you. You might not even see it, but they're going to be there. And that last line there, don't lose sight of the goal. The goal is what we said in the beginning. I want you all to reach your goal. So don't lose sight of it. Keep your desire going. This picture here is a picture that I took when I was in Nicaragua doing a dental outreach. We were serving about 1,000 kids, about 500 adults, providing dental treatment for people who can barely afford a bottle of water. $1 there went so far, those kids were so happy that I gave $1, it would feed their family for so long. And I put this picture up because throughout that time while I was serving those people, it was so much for me to take in and so much for me to enjoy. So devotion is something that I think is very important. You got to give all of yourself to no matter what you do. Along the journey, you need to make sure you're enjoying what you do. So in order to do that, you got to be loyal to yourself. Don't forget who you are. You're going to go to a new world, a new place. Some of you are going to go to states that you've never been before, around people who have just different upbringings than you. They're going to try to influence you, but you got to remember who you are, what you were taught. Keep your morals and your ethics there by your side the entire time, throughout your time in college, throughout your time post-grad, the workforce, wherever it is. And have that sense of community, strong religion, anything to keep you grounded and keep you on the right path. And service was something that was very important to me. So that's why I continue to give back. Mr. Fisher asked me to come here tonight. It's in the middle of the week, came down all the way from New York City, but I'm here. Because it's important to me. And it was important for him to come to my house, knocking on my door, when I didn't want to see him, because I knew he was going to tell my mom something. But guess what? I'm glad that he did. And that's important. Whatever you're doing, make sure you love it. If you don't love it, it's not right. It's not for you. The road to success is yours. And I want all of you to travel it safely and in the right way. Set a goal, Learn along the way. Keep pushing on, even when things get tough. Never lose sight of your goals. And most importantly, enjoy the journey. See, the path to success is different for everyone, and each person's journey is different. But the one thing you all have in common is at the beginning of your road, the foundation of your bridge, from where you started to where you're going, is a strong one. You got friends, family, parents, grandparents, siblings. It could be a teacher, a coach, people like Joe Fisher. They're all here to support you. I would like to give a special thanks to the graduates for allowing me to share this step in your journey with you. I would like to thank the family and friends of the graduates for supporting them to this point in their lives. Keep on doing what you're doing because it's working. I want to thank my lovely wife, Ashley, my family, my friends who love and support me along the way and continue to support me each day. And I really want to give a special thanks to those officials who represent the state, local, national government. They provide the financial support for organizations like First Generation College Bound. And they also strive for financial support that makes it even possible for people like me to fund higher education for themselves and to continue to strive for a better life. And lastly, I want to give a special thanks to Mr. Joe Fisher. I still remember the day you pulled me out of the classroom after I gave you a piece of my mind and asked me if I wanted a better life for myself. Thank you for having the courage to put faith in a young boy, and I thank you for the encouragement and for guiding me in the right direction. I wish the best of luck to all of you who are graduating today from high school, college, graduate school, and I just want you all to have the best path to success. Thank you all.